Welcome to my channel Limelight Leaks. Please share and subscribe, and hit the bell icon for latest updates.
Then I woke up and see this short guy. They say he's fast on his feet, but his legs aren't long enough to be that fast. JJDA boss just told everyone about the 5 street races he hated the most. But who was number 1 and why? The truth about their fights is crazy. The king of Memphis street racing finally talks. JJDA boss, whose real name is Jonathan Day, is famous in underground street racing. His story goes way beyond loud engines, smoky roads, and dangerous tricks. He has a complicated past and a strong reputation. Before he became a big part of Memphis Street Outlaws, JJ spent 8 years in jail. But he didn't let that part of his life stop him. Instead, he turned his love for racing into a successful business. In 2013, JJDA boss showed up on TV with Memphis Street Outlaws. The show was about more than just fast cars. It showed loyalty, family, and Memphis street racing culture. JJ worked with a great team including Precious Cooper, Trisha, and Dobo. Together they made the show exciting and real. JJ has been staying out of sight lately. Fans want to know what's been happening with him after some big events like a bad crash and getting banned from a popular racetrack. His sudden disappearance made people wonder, and not talking about it made rumors spread even more. JJ is back now, and is not holding anything back this time. He's ready to talk about everything. The drama behind the cameras, the scary crashes, and the racers who might have turned against him. After everything he's been through on and off the track, JJDA boss is finally ready to tell his side of the story. The engines are starting and everyone's watching as a Memphis leader steps forward in a new way. This isn't just a regular comeback, but a new side of JJDA boss that nobody has seen before. But before we talk about who JJDA boss has problems with, let's look at his troubled past. JJDA boss's crazy track record. JJDA boss, whose real name is Jonathan Day, knows about tough times in his personal life and on the drag strip. He grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, where street racing was more than just something fun to do. It was a way to live. Ever since he was young, JJ was known for being adventurous, always looking for speed and taking big risks. He had the spirit of a racer, but also had the drive to make it in a tough world. Sadly, his chase for success got him into trouble, and he ended up spending 8 years in prison for crimes connected to his street racing life. This time had a big impact on his future. After getting out of prison, JJ didn't let it hold him back. Instead, he used his time behind bars to think about his future and make plans. When he got out, he didn't just go back to his old ways. He went all in. JJ made a name for himself in underground drag racing, building a tight group of friends and putting Memphis on the map in the racing world. This eventually made him famous across the country on the TV show Street Outlaws Memphis. But as soon as JJ became famous, problems started happening around him. In 2017, JJ got into trouble while filming in Memphis when Chad and Jenny Larkin, who are part of the racing world, said JJ and his crew planned a violent attack during a race day event. The Larkins claimed JJ helped start the violence that caused injuries and hurt feelings. They fought back by suing JJ, Discovery Channel, and Pilgrim Studios for $10 million for being part of the incident. The lawsuit showed JJ not only as a street racer, but also as a main person in a scandal that got media attention. The lawsuit really hurt JJ's reputation, but he also had to deal with other problems at the same time. Rival racers often have fights, but JJ's fight with Chris Block got and turned violent in Casper, Wyoming. During a race event, tension got really bad between the two. JJ supposedly punched Block out of nowhere. This surprised many people in the street racing world, and Godin criticized JJ for the surprise attack. The incident made JJ's reputation worse as not only competitive, but also unpredictable. JJ's love for speed has not only caused legal problems and fights, but it has also led to serious crashes that could have been deadly. In January 2022, while filming America's List, JJ and his wife Trisha were in a scary accident. Both racers lost control during a high-speed race, making JJ's car flip and Trisha's car crash into barriers. Trisha got badly hurt and had to go to the hospital. People who saw it said that JJ, even though he was hurt, quickly went to save her first. This showed a soft side of him that his fans rarely see. In 2023, JJ tried to do an exciting stunt show at the famous Darlington Dragway. But the stunt went really wrong, causing damage and chaos that made the World Drag Racing Alliance ban JJ from racing there. The stunt, which was supposed to amaze the crowd, instead hurt his reputation even more. But what's the real story behind the relationship between JJ Boss and Chris Block Gordon? Keep watching to find out more. The fight that got personal, JJ Boss versus Chris Block Gordon. Street racing is a fast and competitive world with fights like the one between JJ Boss and Chris Block Gordon. At first, their relationship was based on respect because they both had backgrounds in street racing. JJ built his crew in Memphis focusing on family and loyalty, while Chris brought his confidence and competitive spirit to the racing scene. Their relationship started as two competitors wanting to show their skills, and at first it seemed like they could race against each other with respect. Both had a strong love for street racing and valued the freedom of racing outside of official racetracks. But over time, their relationship changed. JJ's growing popularity and influence in the Street Outlaws community made him a target, and Block didn't hesitate to speak his mind. The tension between them began to grow quietly with comments, arguments, and growing frustration. The breaking point happened when Block questioned if JJ's car engine was legal, which is a serious accusation in street racing. JJ, who is known for strongly protecting his crew and reputation, got offended by this. When they met again, the argument turned physical as JJ reacted to Block's comments with a punch. This moment quickly became popular on the internet and became one of the most memorable incidents in Street Outlaws history. JJ said he was defending his team because he thought Block had gone too far. Meanwhile, Block called JJ a coward and said he overreacted. Fans had different opinions. Some thought JJ was protecting his family, team, and reputation, while others thought he let his emotions control him. Social media was full of discussions, but it was clear that the friendship between JJ and Block was over. Ever since that incident, the two have not made up. Their competition is now both personal and public. They have gone separate ways, continuing to race, but without any connection. The hate continues, making it unlikely they will ever race together as teammates again. Up next, we dive into the shocking fallout between JJ Boss and Chad and Jenny Larkin. What made their once strong bond break apart? The fallout between JJ Boss and Chad and Jenny Larkin. Street racing is full of exciting moments, close calls, and intense competitions. One of the most dramatic situations in this world was the clash between JJ Boss and Chad and Jenny Larkin. The Larkins first saw this as an exciting chance, but it ended in a messy and painful fallout that left both sides hurt physically, emotionally, and in their careers. Chad and Jenny Larkin came to Memphis with determination and a desire to prove themselves. They were eager to compete, confident, and ready for the challenge. JJ Boss, a respected leader in the Memphis racing scene, welcomed them. At first, it looked like a perfect match. The Larkins were skilled racers, and JJ liked their willingness to race hard. There was a buzz of energy, competition, and excitement in the air. But underneath, trouble was building. During the filming of Street Outlaws Memphis, things began to change. The Larkins started to feel like they were being picked on and targeted by the Memphis crew. They thought JJ was encouraging mind games and mental tricks that created tension and worry before races started. The Memphis team was known for their serious pre-race talks, which JJ called strategy. But the Larkins began to feel like they were being set up. In 2017, tension got worse during a race event in Memphis when a physical fight happened. What was supposed to be a competition about cars turned into something more serious. Emotions got high and tempers exploded. The Larkins accused JJ and his team of attacking them. The incident became public, leading to a long legal fight. It was no longer just about racing as personal feelings got involved and the damage went deeper than the surface. JJ explained that the incident happened during a moment of high emotion. He thought it was just a normal part of the street racing scene, which is known for being energetic and intense. But Chad and Jenny didn't see it the same way. They felt disappointed, upset, and disrespected. Their relationship hasn't gotten better since then. The potential they once had together is now gone. The Larkins have stayed away from Memphis and JJ has found new friends. The strong partnership they could have had turned into a public mess. It's a memory that will stick with both of them. JJDA Boss and Axeman's broken bond. JJDA Boss and Axeman used to have a close relationship based on mutual respect, a shared love for street racing, and a strong connection. They were both competitive and appreciated qualities like determination, skill, and the excitement of winning. At first, their partnership seemed promising as Axeman brought strength and a strong presence to the track while JJ offered guidance and a solid foundation through their TV shows Street Outlaws Memphis and No Prep Kings. Their relationship started well. JJ admired Axeman's aggressive approach and reliability. Axeman saw JJ as someone who gave racers opportunities to show their skills, especially in street-style races where toughness was important. They shared the same commitment to racing passionately, not just for money, but also for honor and making a lasting impact. Together, they brought excitement to the team and thrilled the fans. It seemed like the start of an amazing journey. As time went on, problems started to show up. The issues didn't come from one single incident, but rather built up slowly from each decision made. With the expansion of the No Prep King series, the pressure to succeed also grew. JJ's focus on getting results started to make him make tough decisions about who should be prioritized. This is when the conflict with Axeman began. When Axe Lady, a female racer who was connected to Axeman, was pushed to the side, many people began to wonder. Fans and insiders believed that JJ was starting to play favorites, choosing races he was friends with over those who were doing better. On platforms like Reddit, people expressed their concerns, blaming JJ for making unfair decisions and changing race rules to help his favorite team members. Axeman, who believed in treating people equally based on their abilities, didn't stay quiet. The hidden tension became obvious to everyone watching. The bond that used to unite them weakened, leading to a breakdown in communication. JJ defended his choices, mentioning the pressure he was facing to get wins and the need to depend on reliable racers and tuners during important moments. But to Axeman and many supporters, it seemed like loyalty was being replaced with control. One of the coldest relationships that shocked fans is between JJDA Boss and the Memphis veterans. But what went wrong along the way? JJDA Boss and the Memphis veterans he left behind. During the early days of Street Outlaws Memphis, JJDA Boss created something special. It wasn't just a racing team, but rather a close family. He brought together dedicated racers from Memphis who had been racing on the streets for years before the cameras showed up. These experienced drivers had known JJ for a long time and played a major role in building the Memphis Street Outlaws team. They shared unforgettable moments with fans. But as the show grew and JJ's goals changed, things started to change within the group. At first, the team was tight and committed. Each member had a specific job, and JJ was a passionate leader. He gave opportunities for racers like Precious Cooper and Dobo to show their talent. As a result, the team won races, became well-known, and got a big following. Fans were drawn to the friendship and excitement of the Memphis group. But over time, problems started to show up behind the scenes. As more of JJ's family members got attention, like his wife Trisha and other close friends, things started to change. Some of the old Memphis drivers who had been with JJ for a long time began to take a backseat. They weren't kicked out, but they weren't getting as many chances to race. Fans saw this change and began to wonder. They asked why the original Memphis drivers weren't getting as much attention and why family members were in the spotlight more often. JJ said he wanted a team he could trust completely, one that was easy to manage and worked well under pressure. He believed that family members make the strongest team. While some understood his decision, others saw it as a quiet goodbye to those who had helped make him successful. The experienced team members, who had put their money and time into the team, were now left out. Some of the former crew members slowly lost touch. Others decided to distance themselves quietly, avoiding conflict, but feeling ignored. The most painful part was not a heated argument or a big fight, but rather the silence. Their years of working together in races slowly became just a memory without any clear departure or explanation. But this is not the only bond that's gone cold. Some rivalries have now turned into full fights. JJDA Boss and the 405 Crew rivalry. The conflict between JJDA Boss and a key rival from the 405 Crew didn't begin with anger, but rather with differences in racing style, philosophy, and approach to the game. JJ grew up on the tough streets of Memphis, where the only rule was to win by any means necessary. He became known for his rough and unfiltered street racing style. But in the bigger world of Street Outlaws, not everyone agreed with his approach. This is where the tension started, especially with racers from the 405 crew. The 405 crew was well known for their organization and competitiveness, approaching drag racing with a strong focus on rules, fairness, and consistency. They believed in following set guidelines to keep a rhythm in their races. In contrast, JJ had a different approach, running his races on his terms with a rule of no chase is a race, where the first person to the finish line wins no matter what, even if they jump the start or switch lanes. While this rule worked for him in Memphis, it caused problems when he joined bigger events like No Prep Kings. At first, JJ's Memphis team and the 405 races had a competitive spirit with both teams trying to show who was better. Over time, this rivalry got stronger as the 405 crew started to criticize JJ's methods. They felt that his flexible rules gave an unfair advantage to his team. The 405 crew didn't like JJ's allowance of driving across lanes and believed that some races focused more on tricks rather than speed. The competition changed from being only about cars to a clash of different racing styles. JJ stayed firm in his belief that real street racing shouldn't be limited by strict rules. He saw his approach as genuine, raw, and exciting. To him, racing was about survival, not perfection. But the growing demands from spectators, fellow racers, and event planners only made the gap between them wider. Tense meetings at the racetracks, public insults, and hidden hate showed that this rivalry had grown beyond just racing. It had become personal. JJDA Boss finally speaks his truth. JJDA Boss is known for speaking his mind without holding back, and his words have created both praise and controversy over time. Whether he is supporting his team, explaining his decisions, or responding to criticism, he always speaks with passion. But this passion has also brought him criticism. Some of JJ's most memorable quotes from his time on Street Outlaws help us understand his mindset and the challenges he has faced. When JJ had an argument with Chris Block Gordon, he didn't hold back his true feelings. JJ thought Block was being rude, and when the situation got worse, JJ reacted quickly and directly. He later said that Block started the fight, and he was just defending his team. The moment was caught on camera and became one of the most popular confrontations ever on the show. The video showed that tensions were already rising before the fight started, but viewers couldn't agree on who was to blame. His problems with Chad and Jenny Larkin led to discussions. During an intense incident at a Memphis event, JJ accused the Larkins of using sneaky tactics and trying to mess with his team's heads. The legal case that followed only made things worse. The footage from the event showed heated arguments and a tense atmosphere, showing how quickly things got out of hand. JJ's perspective stayed the same. He felt his team was being provoked and acted on impulse. JJ's famous statement about street racing, "It's street racing, not NASCAR," wasn't just a casual remark. It became a philosophy for his group. He believed that street racing should be unpredictable and anything goes to win. This mentality didn't sit well with some people, especially those from traditional racing backgrounds. But JJ stood by his beliefs and thought that the intense and edgy style is what makes street racing exciting and real. Reddit and other fan communities show that people have different opinions about JJ. Some fans admire him for being daring, devoted, and fiercely defending his loved ones and team. They see his leadership as powerful and his honesty as refreshing. These supporters like how he supports female drivers and maintains a close racing community. On the other hand, there are fans who think JJ's approach is too messy. They argue that he changes rules to his advantage and creates drama to stay at the center of attention. Some even admit to skipping his parts because they feel the focus moves too far from racing to personal fights. JJ has always justified his decisions by explaining that he acts based on his emotions. When his wife Trisha was in a bad accident while filming, he immediately rushed to help her, without thinking twice. Moments like these show that for JJ, racing goes beyond just being a competition. It's about his loved ones. While some may see his actions as bold or risky, he sees them as necessary to protect those closest to him. This focus on family is what keeps him devoted to his Memphis team and willing to take criticism on their behalf. The bigger picture shows a conflict between two different ways of doing things. One side sticks to strict rules about racing, organized schedules, and clear limits. The other side, JJ's world, values spontaneity, gut feelings, and quick choices. The show's creators might have helped highlight these differences. Some legal cases even hint that the conflicts on the show were encouraged for entertainment. But whether it was exaggerated for filming or not, the clash between JJ's approach and others was always real. JJ doesn't care about fitting in. He aims to make Memphis a center for street racing, with a team that races uniquely and stands by each other. He has emphasized that he doesn't plan to follow others' rules, but rather to create a new standard where the winner is decided by the streets, not by regulations. After experiencing all the excitement, conflicts, and victories, JJ's boss remains strong. He doesn't seek approval from others and refuses to change his way of doing things. It is unclear whether he will fix relationships or continue on his path. One thing for sure is that JJ will always be honest. He will always look out for his team, and he will always believe that winning is earned by crossing the finish line first, no matter what methods are used.